Hi everyone, it's Simon here with a review of Cat Quest 2. Cat Quest 2 is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, iOS and Android devices, but also PC, and it's the PC version that you see on your screens. It's a direct sequel to Cat Quest 1, although you don't need to have played the first one to play this one, because it's two separate stories. But I adored Cat Quest 1, platinumed it, found it a really interesting and addictive, simple hack and slash RPG, full of cat puns, so what's not to love? I was hoping for more of the same with Cat Quest 2, and that's exactly what I've got. It's bigger, more beautiful, and with some added extras in terms of gameplay mechanics and features. The big new feature here is that it's now got complete co-op gameplay throughout. And you've got a cat king and a dog king, and you can choose which one you want to be. And if you've got a friend, then you can play together. I have no friends, so I played alone and had to switch between the two. And the switching works really well, and an AI counterpart takes over the character that you're not playing at that time. Thankfully, the AI is brainy, responsive, actually helps you out, and is not a hindrance. And thank you so much for actually spending the time to be able to make that a thing, because there's nothing worse in a single-player game that it's supposed to be a co-op experience, and the AI person is just thick. So really pleased that that was working fine. The way how Cat Quest 2 works in terms of gameplay, though, has also improved over time. Between the first and the second one. So kind of new here is ranged attacks, where you can be a mage and you can fire elemental spells at people as you go along, and that's been really interesting, mixed up with the co-op gameplay, because what you can do is kit out one of your characters to be up close and personal with swords, axes, the aggressive spells that are quite limited in terms of their range, and they can be up close and personal and doing all the damage there. And you can have the other one be a mage and fire ice, fire, lightning, water attacks from afar and cause damage that way. And with elemental attacks being really at the heart of some of the gameplay that goes on in Cat Quest 2, I found it really useful to have one of each, even if that meant that maybe one of them was never quite always hitting the mark with the most maximum damage, because it meant we covered all of our bases. Cat Quest 2, though, is quite rhythmic in the way how it deals with its battles. So quite often when you're battling an enemy, it will give you a red circle around the area of attack that it's going to have, and if you're inside that area of attack, you're going to get damaged, and it will kind of flash a little bit and then it will do it. And so what you'll be doing is diving in, doing your attack, and then using the roll button to roll away. Now, as you upgrade your cat as you go along, the roll gets to be able to damage enemies, and you get more and more different things that can switch up the gameplay. But this rhythmic element of going in, doing the move, rolling away, means that you can't just go in and just mindlessly press buttons, because you'll be dead very quickly. What you'll need to do is balance that aggression and passive rolling away defense, and you've got these new passive abilities that you can add on to your cat king or dog king, that you can kind of mix and match and create your own little mini loadouts, so that you can cover up for some of your lack of skill, essentially. I was so used to the PlayStation 4 controls for the first one, for example, that I was still struggling to press the right button to roll in Cat Quest 2 because I was playing on the PC. I know that sounds like a really stupid thing to be doing, but you know when you're programmed in one thing and you do another and you're like, meh. So what I was finding was that some of the passive abilities that would allow me to reduce damage down because I'd have a shield and all of that kind of stuff was really helpful for me, because the amount of times that I'd forget to press the roll button don't judge me. And it's not the game's fault, it's my own programming fault. So I found that really helpful to kind of get me through the games itself. And I'm only showing you early gameplay footage here because I don't want to spoil the story and so on and so forth. There are 12 spells in the game. They all need to be leveled up in the mage's shop though, as does your armour and your weapons. And quite often you'll be having to do a little bit of a grinding on the overworld map with some of the enemies to get enough coins to then upgrade all of your things that you want to upgrade so that they're as potent as they can be. And that's been inbuilt in from the first Cat Quest and has been transferred across to the second one, because it does kind of gate your level of progression so that you can't escape well ahead of where the story wants you to be in terms of level, so that there's always a bit of a challenge. The other way how you can gauge this is that every dungeon, every cave, every quest and side quest has a rating from 1 to 5 skulls depending on what the quest level is versus your player level. So if you start to find that actually quests are 5 skulls and it's going, ooh, it's a bit hard, you can go away and level up. However, there's nothing to say that you can't then go for the challenge itself, because if you play defensively enough and you're quick on the draw of rolling around everywhere, you can still quite legitimately get through a 5 skull challenge. It's going to take you longer, you're going to need to be more skilled, and it's going to be a challenge. The quests themselves in Cat Quest 2 take about 5 minutes maximum. Nothing is ever very long, because this is designed to be pick up and play and drop and kind of go in and out on the go as you're picking between different things, which is what makes it so nice and easy and breezy. But it does have that one more go mechanic, particularly with the cat puns and the way how the story constantly dovetails and shows you where you need to go next. So you'll be quite happily sitting there going, oh, do you know what, I'll just give Cat Quest 2 20 minutes. Hour and a half later, you've kicked out a quite significant chunk of story, done loads of quests, leveled up loads of things, bought loads of upgrades, and then you're like, accomplished, but that wasn't 20 minutes, and that's a sign of a really good game. Cat Quest 2 is polished, it's fun, it knows itself and its own humour, and it's very tongue-in-cheek, and I really like how self-aware it is, but all of that doesn't necessarily make it a good game. But when you add in great controls, easy breezy gameplay that's easy to pick up but has nuance to master it if you want to, and yeah, I give Cat Quest 2 a hearty recommendation. If you loved the first one, this is more of the same, but bigger and better and more beautiful. If you're new to the series, you can grab them both, but this one is the better of the two because there's more variety involved here in terms of the gameplay and the co-op experience, which I would imagine if you had a friend would be amazing, but if you don't, the single player experience is more than worth it. Cat Quest 2 is out now. Thanks for watching. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them below and I will get round to answering you as best as I can. Until then, it's a perfect game. Tusk. Bye. This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.